Welcome to the second season of the PBA League. 8 star-studded teams owned by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Today, NBA All-Star Chris Paul's LAX and franchise player Jason Belmonte take on Sean Rash and the Brooklyn Styles, owned by actor Jesse Williams, in a new format that features singles, doubles, trios, and 5-on-5 team play. It's an all-or-nothing battle on the road to the Elias Cup Final. The winner advances, the loser goes home. And it starts right now on ESPN. Yeah! Welcome to Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. We are in the historic arena, which played host to the original National Bowling League. Team competition returns to Thunderbolt today in the PBA League as the LAX meets the Brooklyn Styles. Hello again, everybody. Mike Jakubowski. Welcome to the Motor City. We have an 8-team bracketed competition here in the PBA League. Let's take a look at our teams. Our opening match features the LAX in Brooklyn. Next week, it's the Elias Cup champions, the New York City WTT Kingpins, taking on the hometown Motown Muscle. Expert analysis today from PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Randy, how does the PBA League work?
Well, you're right. It's very unique in that each team is comprised of 5 different professional bowlers. There's kind of 4 different competitions within each match, Mike. There's a singles game, there's a doubles game, there's a trio game, and then there's a team game. All of these games are worth points. The team with the most points at the end of the match will move on. The losing team is eliminated from competition. What I love about this format, Mike J., is that you're going to see a lot of different players. There's going to be a lot of action, and we're going to start with a lot of action right off the bat. A singles game that's featuring the reigning Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte, taking on last season's Player of the Year, Sean Rash. Mike J., I'm excited. I can't wait for this to happen.
Fireworks with our first point on the line. The third member of our broadcast team is Kimberly Pressler. She stands by with the managers. It's PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia for the Brooklyn Styles. And on the other side, it's the USBC president, Andrew Kane, manager of the LAX. Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. So, Andrew, the franchise player, per the rules, has to bowl in the singles match. But what was your strategy for the rest of your lineup of your players?
Well, you know, when we put this team together, we had a big focus on the team concept of the league, and we wanted to make sure everybody got a shot and that we put our best players in the best positions possible to succeed. And we've got a lineup that reflects that, and we're ready to go.
Well, you do have a lot of good players to choose from. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Now, Johnny, Andrew actually lost the coin toss before this match, so you got to see his lineup. How much did that influence your decision on where you were going to put your players?
Oh, really not much. It's a question of putting the right people in the right place for each kind of matches. For instance, Walter Ray bowled the doubles because he's the best spare shooter in the last 20 years. So that's why he's in there. And we have 3 crankers together, 2 strokers together. We did things like that to make it a complete team effort.
Well, good luck to both of you today. It looks like we're going to see whose strategy pays off.
Yeah, let's talk about the strategy that they're going to employ on this 42-foot oil pattern. The scoring pace is medium to high, but I'm going to go more with high. The players are going to be able to get to the pocket at will. It's just going to be a matter of pin carry. Watch the high rev players play more towards that center arrow, the 4th arrow, the 20 board, wheeling it out to about the 8th board. The players with a little bit lower rev rate, they're going to go a little bit straighter around 2nd arrow.
No low rev rates to be had here as the reigning PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte, representing the LAX, takes on Sean Rash, representing the Brooklyn Styles, for the first point. 1 point in the singles match. Belmonte opens with a strike and a unique piece of eyewear.
Yeah, it's the Google eyewear, and Mike J., you're real familiar with this. You covered this in Extra Frame, but it gives the viewers a perspective of what Jason Belmonte is seeing through his eyes. I think the really unique thing about it is that you can see just how much his head moves throughout the shot, and It gives a very unique perspective through the eyes of Jason Belmonte, watching his ball go down the lane, how it reacts down the lane. You kind of get an idea of how much his head is moving. Pretty cool stuff.
Former Player of the Year, Sean Rash. Straight ball, covers the spare. Opening match in the PBA League, it's Brooklyn versus LA.
This singles match worth 1 point. Remember, at the end of the match, the team with the most points moves on. And a little bit more than just a point going on between these two players as we take a look at their roster.
Sean Rash, franchise player, joined by Walter Ray Williams Jr., Jason Sterner, Smallwood, and Haugen. That ball's also high, and it's a 4-6-7 split.
Well, he wasn't expecting this. Check this ball out. Watch it come off the end of the pattern, go right through the face. He pays the ultimate price, 4-6-7.
Open frame for Sean Rash.
Sorry, guys.
A couple of new additions to the Brooklyn Styles. As we saw in the graphic, Tom Smallwood and Michael Haugen Jr. Right now, Sean Rash talking with Walter Ray Williams Jr., trying to figure out what.
Belmonte up on the strike. You can see the Google Glass. It's actually a camera, that white piece, that shoots what he's looking at. 4-8 on a light hit.
Okay.
4-8, but no split. Right now, the player's trying to get settled in and trying to fight through the nerves, the early frame jitters, and trying to dial in their ball reactions on both lanes.
Spare conversion for Belmonte. There's nobody hotter in the world of professional bowling right now than Jason Belmonte, who dazzled at last month's Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions. The reigning Player of the Year blew away the field to easily qualify as the #1 seed, and then squared off in the title match against Wes Malott, the man who beat Belmonte in last summer's U.S. Open. Malott had a chance at victory, but then failed to strike in the 10th, handing Belmonte the second major championship of his career. And a look at the LIX owned by LA Clippers Chris Paul. It's Belmonte, franchise player with Parker Bone III, Andres Gomez. New additions, Mika Koivuniemi and EJ Tackett picked up in the PBA League draft.
Well, they lost Wes Malott to free agency, but anytime you can add Mika Koivuniemi and your reigning Rookie of the Year, EJ Tackett, talk about bolstering your lineup. You lose a great player in Malott, but you fire back with those two players. Pretty good stuff.
Strike for Belmonte. He said he wanted to keep the team intact. Talking with manager Andrew Kane, so they had a core of players, and then adding Tackett and Koivuniemi.
See if Sean Rash can shake off that second frame split and throw some strikes, puts a little pressure back on Belmonte.
Rash finds the pocket. He was high his first two shots, so first strike.
A little better.
The singles tilt between the last two PBA Players of the Year, Rash and Belmonte, just named. And Rash asking for a fresh set of pins.
Rash is going to take a re-rack on the left lane, and here's a beautiful shot with all 10 back in the pit. Now, Sean didn't act like he threw a bad shot in the second frame when he went high. He acted surprised that it went high, so he has to make an adjustment. The adjustment is moving 2 or 3 boards left with his feet and 1 board with his target.
Was that a mirror image on the left lane? Did he make the same adjustment after going high the previous time on the left lane?
Well, he moved left, obviously. That ball went much longer. The reason why you move left for a right-hander is you're trying to move into fresh oil. And he found fresh oil. You can see just how much longer that ball pushed down the lane.
And now we can see that fresh oil with the blue 42-foot pattern. Belmonte on a strike, 4-pin lead, 4th frame. Opening singles match, LAX versus the Brooklyn Styles. This is for 1 point. Belmo extends the lead with a double.
Pretty good shot there for a double, and Jason Belmonte looks comfortable on both lanes. The right lane seems to be hooking just a little bit more. You can see the players are just a little bit deeper as you take a look from profile of the most unique game in bowling, that two-handed style.
Belmonte, familiar with team competition, member of the Australian national team from 2002 through 11. And a powerful strike in the 5th.
He looks like a cyborg with those glasses on. He looks space-aged. But nonetheless, the results are still the same for your reigning player of the year, Jason Belmonte. I'm going to watch that left lane the next time Belmonte is up to see if he goes high like Rash did in the 2nd frame.
Both players on strings of strikes now. Rash up in the 5th. And he gets a strike and cuts the lead to 14 pins halfway home. Opening singles match in the PBA League.
That's another great shot on the right lane. And, you know, now some of the things that go through a player's mind, Sean Rash stepping back up on the left lane, remember he went high in the 2nd frame. He makes the adjustment and went light. He also will have to finish the match on the left lane.
Rash on 3 strikes in a row. That's a turkey in the business. 6th frame, trails by 14. Yes! Spins the 5 out. Sean Rash cuts into the lead for Brooklyn and LA. It's a tight opening singles match. When we return to Thunder Bowl, we'll get our first point decided in the PBA League. Welcome back to Thunder Bowl Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. Continuing action in singles in the PBA League, LAX versus Brooklyn. Belmonte with the LAX with a short 4-pin lead. Time now for our Ebonite flashback. Jason Belmonte and Sean Rash have met twice before in televised tournament competition. The first time was in the title match of the 2011 PBA Chameleon Open, where Belmonte would put together an 8-bagger against a struggling Rash, who opened twice in the match. Belmo would prevail by nearly 80 pins, 268 to 191. The rivals met again last season in the semifinals of the 2013 Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions. That match was once again a lopsided affair, as Belmonte started out with 5 straight strikes. Rash was only able to manage 1 in the same number of frames and 2 total for the match. Final score, 229 to 171. Belmonte would go on to be defeated by Pete Weber in the title match. Jason Belmonte up in the 6th frame, singles match, 1 point to the winning team, doubles, trios, and team yet to come. Jason Belmonte wearing the new Google Glass, which actually is recording the images that he sees. Perfect strike for Belmonte, and the lead is increased to 14.
Well, that's what you do as a professional bowler and a major championship winner. You get the opening from your opponent, and then you basically stomp on the accelerator and you never let up. He's matching Sean Rash strike for strike now, 3rd through the 6th frame. The big difference, though, is the open frame by Rash in the 2nd. I think if he gets past this left lane in the 7th and 9th frame, I think he wins.
Perfect shot, splits the 8 and 9, 5-bagger for Belmonte. Sean Rash, a winner over Mike Fagan last month at the World Series of Bowling and the World Bowling Tour Finals in Las Vegas. Rash was unstoppable as he rolled the front 7 on his way to a final score of 255 to Fagan's 231. A big win for the new dad and his family, wife Sarah and daughter Kaylee.
LAX looking pretty good here early on, but this match is far from over. Sean Rash can strike out to shoot 266. Jason Belmonte can strike out to shoot 280.
And the strikes continue. Great pitch right there. It was a great. Brooklyn Styles managed by PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia.
Pretty nice career there with 3 majors and 14 titles, but I've known Johnny Petraglia for over 30 years. He signed me to my first ball or staff contract way back when. Johnny and I have been friends for a very long time, and he is the greatest storyteller that's ever lived.
Ooh, ring 10 for Rash. Interrupts the string.
Well, the last 2 shots went light, and he carried those beautifully, and this time he makes a great shot, only to leave a ringing 10, and Sean Rash had to be feeling that at this point of the match, he could not afford that. Now he's going to have to get some help from Belmonte. Not sure he's going to get it.
Gives that 10-pin a spin around. Very interesting release. How does Rash get that ball to stay straight with that release?
Well, it's what we all do. We break our wrists back. We keep the swing nice and straight, get the ball in the swing a little bit earlier to set up early timing so that there's no load or hit at the bottom. Keep the wrist broken back and rely on a straight arm swing to guide the ball in the direction you're trying to throw it in.
Belmonte on the 5-bagger, 8th frame, and 7.
Very unusual pin carry with that ball going through the pins. Watch this. You can see that rev rate just chewing through the blue oil dye, and that was like almost a pocket 7-10 with a 6 kick and the 10 out late.
Spare conversion for Jason Belmonte and the LAX. Opening match of our PBA League matchup between LA and Brooklyn. 1 point for the win. Also 1 point coming up in our doubles and our trios competition. 3 points on the line for our Team Baker match. Belmonte with a 14-pin lead, foundation 9th frame. And just drills it right back. And an extra look on the Google Glass.
A little inside.
I was just getting ready to say it looked like he got that one in and it laid there.
Never know.
So that was a great miss, setting up the 10th frame for Belmonte. Belmonte only needs another strike in the 10th and great pin count, and he can shut out Sean Rash. But first things first, Rash has to strike out to have a chance. You know, and here's the thing, dialed in on the right lane, left lane has been an issue, and I say that because he's got a split. He just left a ringing 10, and the 2 strikes that he has thrown on that lane have both been light mixers. Every shot on the right lane has been high flush.
245 max for Rash and the Brooklyn Styles in this singles matchup against LA and Belmonte. Another ring 10.
It's going to be the undoing, unfortunately, for Sean, who only missed the pocket once, but he's just going to be in the 220s, and Belmonte's already in the 230s. Belmonte just needs decent pin count. You can see his teammates are like, seriously? But it's only 1 point, and that's if Belmonte can finish. I don't think that's a very big if, to be honest with you.
Team with the most points will advance in the PBA league. The team that loses will be out of the competition. Fill ball for 225. Make it 223 for Rash and the Brooklyn Stars.
Sorry, guys. Now.
That was the only lane that looked to be a little iffy. You know, the right lane looks like it's not even an issue. The right lane seems to hook a little bit more. Right now, Jason Belmonte needs 8 in 2 balls, and he will earn that first point for LAX. Check out the way he starts. The left foot pointed forward, right foot's open, stays open, gets the hips open, and he just opens up the rack.
So the LAX on the board with the first point. Coming up next, it'll be doubles competition when we return to Thunderbolt Lanes in suburban Detroit. Back at a snowy Thunderbolt Lanes here in Allen Park, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Jason Belmonte beats Sean Rash. LA earns the first point. Final score 255 to 223 in singles. And LA is on the board. Kimberly Pressler is with Jason Belmonte.
LAX is on a roll because of Jason Belmonte's win. Now, Sean Rash seemed to have a little bit of difficulty on the left lane, but you didn't. What was the difference for you?
Look, I think it's with my rev rate, I was able to create a little bit more down lane motion. You know, I've been using that up roll all week. It's been absolutely phenomenal, and you know, it's just a little bit harder off the spot. I was able to knock them all over when I needed to, and honestly, for the team, that's all that matters right now.
Well, we'll see if LAX can continue moving forward with the momentum of your win.
Thanks, Kimberly. Mike J., I think these are a couple of really interesting lineups coming up in this doubles competition. The doubles competition is alternate shot, or as we used to call it, Scotch doubles back in the day.
Well, we've got Mika Koivuniemi and Parker Bone for LAX, and Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Jason Sterner for Brooklyn. Who do you like in that doubles matchup in alternate shot Scotch doubles?
Well, I think it was very interesting when Johnny Petraglia was talking about his strategy. You know, he wanted Walter Ray Williams Jr. in this event, in this match, because of his great spare shooting. I think what's interesting is that LAX is going with a left-hander in Parker Bone. This match is going to come down to one thing and one thing only. What type of ball reaction does Parker Bone III have? If he has a good one, I like Mika and Parker.
Johnny Petraglia put the team together based on experience, and we're seeing experience with this doubles matchup. 1 point on the line, doubles at the PBA League as LAX continues against Brooklyn when we return.